Good morning. Good to see all of you. How are we doing? I'm doing great. Except that I forgot my scale. That's okay. It's right back there. So, last little bit about Vieques. Before we get into that though, relatives are coming in this evening, which means we probably won't be doing this tomorrow, but I would see us doing this on Thursday. So, just no video tomorrow. More than likely a video on Thursday. We'll see what happens. We'll play it by ear as we always do. So, I did it, and I probably am going to regret it. Da Vinci Gourmet Toasted Marshmallow, and then that in a different language. I don't know what that language is. It could be French. It could be German. I don't know. Well, let me tell you what scares me though. Sucralose. Plant-based sugar. I know sugar comes from a plant, sugar cane. I also know that it comes from corn, as in corn syrup. But sucralose has a terrible, terrible taste. Terrible taste. Aftertaste even worse. So and then I bought this pistachio one because I love pistachio. And then I saw, ooh, 0 sugar. And then I looked at the ingredients. Sucralose. I mean, I couldn't find anything toasted marshmallow, because I wanted toasted marshmallow because I thought that this would taste amazing. This Crusader Cup Indiana Jones from Bones Coffee would taste amazing if it had some marshmallow in it of some kind. And I scoured and I scoured, and maybe my eyes didn't catch it and everybody else can see better than I can. I couldn't find anything like a Coffee Mate that was like a marshmallow or a toasted marshmallow. The only thing I found were, again, plant-based, some made with mushrooms, and nope, I ain't having mushrooms. I had a mushroom-based sweetener once. And it tasted terrible. It was the worst tasting thing I had ever experienced. And I'm 46 years old and have tasted a lot of things. So it was awful. It was just the worst. And I will never do a mushroom thingy again. Unless someone tricks me into it. Ooh boy, yeah. Scotcharoo flavored coffee. Oh my God. Oh. So it's chocolate, butterscotch, and caramel. It's a nutty chocolate. So we're gonna do this, and then I'm gonna fiddle around a little bit here. We're gonna do a little side-by-side tasty. So I'm gonna do about 35 grams. There we go, about 35 of our Scotcharoo. Let's get that going. Here we go. I'm gonna do about a 450 pour over here, and we're gonna see how that goes. Once again, Bones Coffee coming through, no static. It just must be with how they treat their coffee. There must be the oil or whatever they put on their coffee. No static whatsoever. It's just the coolest thing. It makes me so happy. So last couple of days in the Vieques, the second to last day, we had moved into the L block. We were in that hotel. That was really cool. And then we just went beach hopping, multiple different beaches. He went snorkeling. We didn't have a snorkel. We bought a mask, but he didn't have a snorkel. He didn't have flippers either. So we kind of went to this point where it was supposed to be a lot of different fish and a lot of different things possibly there. When he went, it wasn't there, but he went snorkeling for a little while, and I stayed on the beach because it was the day after I had got stung by a jellyfish, and I was kind of done with being shoulder deep in water. So the next day, we went to the bio bay. Now, we were both really excited. We couldn't wait. It was going to be so much fun. We're going to see this beautiful bioluminescent blue sparkling water where the microorganisms, when you disturb the water that they're in, they glow. They just start sparkling. And there are so many of them, it doesn't look like sparkling. It just looks like everything just glows. And, you know, we took the water out and we poured it on our legs and we saw the beautiful blue. And then as we got further into the middle, it got even more bright. It got to the point where the water had small waves on it from the wind blowing, and those waves just turned blue. Did not show up on camera. Did not expect it to, even though I did take this GoPro to try to get something. Mostly what I got is me whimpering. Because it was pitch black. The only thing you can really see was the little blue lights on the back of each canoe. It was terrifying for me. I can't swim. I've never been in a canoe, and I don't believe in life jackets. I mean, I wore a life jacket, but I didn't believe it was going to save me if anything happened. It's just, I know that everybody's screaming right now if life jackets save lives. It's never saved my life. So I just have this, I had this incident happen to me when I was very, very young. And I don't even remember all of the details. It just involved me nearly drowning in some kind of a lake somewhere out in the middle of some forestry. I don't remember all the details, which is probably why I can go into the ocean and wade and, you know, be shoulder deep in calm water. But I am deathly afraid of anything where I can't touch the bottom and my head is bobbing just above water. I will shut down. Anyhow, and I have shut down. My whole body is shut down. Anyhow, so we get into the boat, and it's the both of us, and well, I mean, it was a combination of a lot of different things. On the website, there was a weight limit for each boat. Though we have lost weight, and we are very grateful for that, we still weighed a little over 500 pounds together. Those boats were not meant to handle anything over 350. We were overweight by a bunch, and luckily our tour guide, even in the pitch black darkness, said, that doesn't look right. I don't like how that boat is floating. So he sent us back to shore, which was another ordeal because not only was the boat itself so heavy and laden down that it was a difficult struggle to get it back to shore, neither of us knew how to paddle to do it correctly. In fact, it took me halfway through the tour to figure it out myself. Anyway, we get back to shore, and somehow Matt got his own boat, which was great. You know, he can swim, he's very confident, he can do these things. And then they put me in a boat, and I guess somewhere in the translation we kind of thought I was going to get somebody with me in my boat, and I didn't. I was in a two-person canoe by myself, which, strangely enough, a lot of the anxiety went away because I was the master of my own fate and I wasn't going to drag anybody down with me. So that was actually very helpful. Strangely enough, that was actually very helpful. But let's go about 300 here. And then, we'll go up to 5. We'll go up to 500 total, but I'm going to go up to 300 here, and I'm going to let it drain for a little bit. The bay itself, incredibly calm. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, and we would stop at various places in the tour. He'd be like, check it out here. At some places, it was incredibly bright, and there was a reason. At some places, it was very dim, and there was a reason. And at some places, it wasn't lighting up at all, and there was a reason. A lot of that was Hurricane Maria had come through and destroyed a lot of the mangroves that were on one side of the bay. And so they are doing the conservation thing where they have transplanted mangroves, put them in, and they seem to be thriving. So they're just bringing everything back. And then the dumbest, there are some really dumb people in this world, and you don't realize it. And it's not like it's an obvious dumb. It's a very subtle dumb where if you sit there and think about it for a second, you probably wouldn't have said anything out loud. And there were 2 instances from the same woman. So we're on the bus ride here, because we're taking a small bus to the area. We're actually driving by Media Luna, where we had spent 2 beach trips, which, again, another beautiful, very beautiful place. So we kind of went by there and deeper into the jungle, basically. And pitch black. Everything was pitch black. The stars that night were gorgeous. We were out there in the middle of that bay with no lights. It was absolutely breathtaking when I could breathe. But anyway, we're driving there, and our tour guide is talking through the bus, the speakers and whatnot, and giving us little things and talking about what happened with Hurricane Maria and all of the, everything. And then a woman's like, well, what happened to the horses during Hurricane Maria? Because, the island is covered with horses. And that's where we discovered that a lot of those horses are owned and are branded, and they're allowed to roam because that's just the way the islands works. There's no place for anyone to go. The horses aren't going to run away. So, and they seem to stick to a lot of the same areas. So, if you needed your horse, you could just go out and get it. Otherwise, they're grazing, they're taking care of the grass, they're keeping everything down. They're eating up all the mangoes that are dropping. So, I mean, who can argue with that? 4-minute drawdown. Wonderful. Very cool. Thank you. But anyway, she's like, what happened to the horses during Hurricane Maria? And the woman had to basically say, and you could tell that she really didn't want to say it out loud, but she's like, yeah, some of them died. What happens in a hurricane? They're very smart creatures, so they're going to try to find a place to be that is not dangerous. But she's like, yeah, no, some of them died. Thanks for having me say that out loud. We get out there in the middle of the boat, and we're at one of the stops, and the brightness has kind of dimmed because we're at that one mangrove that was damaged, and so their ecosystem was damaged. And he was going over a lot of the things that they've banned. I think it was like since 2006 they've banned swimming in the bio bay. A lot of bio bays around the world haven't done that, and they're losing their microorganisms, and the bays are getting dimmer and dimmer because there's a lot of different factors. It's not just that you're a human, it's that you are wearing clothing, and that clothing has been treated with some kind of a detergent. You're bringing stuff to the beach to eat and drink and stuff, and that pollution is hurting the animals in there. It's just a lot of different factors. And she said, well, back in 2009 when we were swimming out here, it was so bright. Why is it not bright here? And then the tour guide's like, basically she said, ma'am, are you an idiot? I just said in 2006, they banned people from swimming here. So if you were caught in 2009 swimming here, you would have been fined a big fine. The person that allowed you to swim here would have been fined a big fine. And there's just like a bunch of different things. And he's reading her the riot act, and I'm sitting there cheering to myself. I'm like, tell this woman where to go and how to get there. That is amazing. It was so wonderful. He didn't hold anything back, and it just shut her down. She's like, well, we were allowed to. And he says, if you did it in 2009, no, you weren't. You were not allowed to. That is not something you should have done. It was terrible of you to do so. And how dare you? Ooh, I got a little splashy. For concentrate, whatever. Anyhow. So that was a big fun part of the tour as well, is him shutting down this person because she's like, well, we did this. And he's like, well, you shouldn't have done that. That was wrong. That was terrible. That was stupid. It was horrible. You have killed a section of people like you have killed sections of this bay that we have had to, through conservation, bring back. And I'm like, yes, that is amazing. To hell with that person. Oh my God. But the Bio Bay tour, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do about a half a pump of this. There you go. Maybe we'll do a whole pump. There we go. It's a lot more watery than I had expected. And I'm going to do this, even though I'm going to regret it, because I don't think Scotcharoo will go with this coffee. Anyway, I wish I was able to take pictures and video how beautiful this was. But and I'll tell you right now, if you were like, boy, that sounds like fun, but I don't know. I can't swim. I've never been in a kayak. By the midpoint of everything, I had gotten the hang of it, and I wasn't afraid I was going to fall out. And I was able to admire everything that was happening around me. So if you have reservations about getting in a boat, a couple of different things you should do. You should definitely mention, if you do it, mention to them, hey, I'm this weight, and don't be coy. This is your safety. This is your safety and the person that is riding with you. So tell them your weight, let them know you may be a little bit more, and they can provide you with a separate boat that you both can be in. They had no problem taking us back to shore and getting me in another boat. No problem. And I'm very grateful that he did, because otherwise we probably would not have been able to go. We wouldn't have been able to participate. And that would have been really sad, because that was the only thing that we really planned. The only thing we really scheduled and planned was the Bio Bay tour. And we were so happy and we were so excited, and it was so fulfilling. And, you know, and like I said, the stars were just absolutely gorgeous. I had never in my life seen such stars. And then we flew back. The flight back wasn't so bad, because the flight there wasn't bad. And the flight back was not bad either. We got into an 8-passenger dual prop to get back, and that was fine. And then we landed, and then we took an Uber to the main terminal in Puerto Rico. Just the way they had the line to get your ID checked, there were so many people. We went to the Southwest counter, got our stuff done in 30 seconds, and then came back, and I think we stood in that line for 45 minutes until we got to the guy who looked at our ID. Everybody was kind, everybody was wonderful, nobody argued, nobody yelled, nobody had a problem. Everybody just did what they needed to do in an orderly fashion, and it was wonderful to see. But it took us 45 minutes to get through that line. It was absolutely insane. And then we ate at the Air Margaritaville, which made everything all the better. I like their burger. You know, the cheeseburger in Paradise is really good. It just is. I don't know why, it just is. And it doesn't matter which Margaritaville I go to, their cheeseburger in Paradise is always very good. And then we flew back. We flew from Puerto Rico to Baltimore, which was a full flight. There were no seats left, and that is where I caught my upper respiratory infection. Not COVID, thank goodness. Poor neighbor had COVID, and she was down for like two to 3 weeks, just sick. And I think she's got some kind of a immunity issue as well. But I'm glad she got better. She's a lot better now. We went out to eat last night, and she's doing well. But I had an upper respiratory thing. It knocked me out for 2 days. I think I slept all day the following day. And then we flew from Baltimore to Columbus. And the Columbus flight, it was like 40% full, so we could all stretch out and just be out and not feel cramped and anything like that. But we had a 3.5-hour flight to Baltimore from Puerto Rico, full of people. And the crew was so great. I loved every time that poor gentleman had to say a bunch of stuff in English. He had to say the entire spiel in English, and then he had to turn around and say it all in Spanish. And I'm like, every time, dude, you're amazing. Other Southwest people in your position do not know how well they have it. Good for you, man. It was awesome. So that was a good flight that day, even though I got sick, which is fine. And we've recovered, and we're back here. And now I'm doing this, which I am regretting, because sucralose. Can we just get back to sugar? Does anybody know if there's these kind of things with sugar in them? I'll even take corn syrup, because this is just, I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Hang on. So this is the Crusader Cup the way I wanted it, with the toasted marshmallow, because I thought it would taste wonderful. Boy, it would be really good if it wasn't for that chemical taste. It tastes like Sweet and Low. It tastes like I've put Sweet and Low in this thing, and Sweet and Low just tastes like chemicals. That pink packet, it just tastes like artificial everything. And I know that, show me a non-artificial marshmallow, you know? Yeah, you can show me an organic marshmallow, but you can't show me one growing off a tree or off a bush. You know, it's still a created thing. I don't hate it, but that aftertaste where it's like, oh, no. Yeah, I'm not hip to that jive. All right, so this is the pistachio. This is a pistachio latte barista collection from Skinny Syrups. Jordan's Skinny Syrups. Cappuccino latte frappe.
Be your own barista. Use this syrup to make your favorite coffee shop drinks at home. Enjoy the flavor and fun of your favorite beverages without the guilt.
Ha, my ass! Without the guilt. What a bunch of crap. doing that voice. Very, very nice. Oh boy. All right, so let's try the pistachio. Pistachio taste is there. It's very there. You can definitely taste the pistachio. And it's actually not bad. Probably wouldn't do it again with a Scotcharoo because that's very, very, very contrasting, strong, very strong flavors that are just nailing each other on the head over and over again on my tongue. It's not a bad taste. It's definitely a nice taste of pistachio. Yeah. It's that really fake pistachio flavor that you get in Jell-O. And it definitely doesn't taste as chemically in this form as this does, because this, I'm just surprised at how runny it is. It tastes like coconut. It doesn't even taste like, okay, there's the marshmallow. I'm like, it doesn't even taste like marshmallow, but there it is in the middle of all things. At the beginning, it tastes like coconut, and then it kind of melds itself into marshmallow, and then you get the, yeah, that tastes like chemicals. I would definitely not put more than, I guess we should not put more than half a pump in this because it is incredibly sweet. And also incredibly chemicals. But you know, when I put it on my finger and tasted it, it was very pistachio. It tasted just like, not Jell-O pudding, pistachio pudding. This, on the other hand, so many chemicals. That's very disappointing. That's really sad. Because if you know of a toasted marshmallow syrup like this, that's just sugar, that has sugar in it or has corn syrup in it, no sugar-free. Sugar-free is a lie because it's still got this sucralose in it, and I'm pretty sure that that's probably going to give you like the poops or something at the end of the day. Lesson learned. I have these, so when we go back to making the other coffees, if I screw them up, I mean, these are good until like 2025. Yeah, 5/19/2025. So, you know, I'll have them. They're not horrible. Maybe I can make some ice cream with them. Maybe I can find something else. Maybe I can make lemonade and make a pistachio lemonade. Don't knock it until we've tried it. We may try it. I may surprise you one day and you may be going, what? So don't put it past me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for putting up with the Vieques pictures and videos and the trip that I had because it was so much fun. We're excited to do it again some point. We still have other things that we want to do, of course, but we got to get there first. And then once we've gotten through the majority of those, we'll go back to Vieques and Puerto Rico because it is definitely, Vieques was a paradise. And a paradise full of animals. There are no resorts, so every place you stay is either an Airbnb or a guest house or maybe some kind of a hotel, but there are no resorts down there. There's no all-inclusive things. It is, you have a place to sleep, and then that morning you get up and you go do beaches all day, you go hiking, you go eat. You eat all day. It is an island time paradise. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. No video tomorrow morning. I will be back on Thursday, hopefully. Knock on butcher block. And we'll find something else to talk about. Maybe I'll come back and tell you that I won the lottery. Because that's coming up tonight. It's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. And if I won, probably wouldn't tell you. We'll talk to you later. Bye.